Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Sandisk Corporation. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now on this chart we have a seemingly simple structure where from the all-time low we can track a pretty reliable wave 1 to the upside, and then after the correction in wave 2 we are looking now at a much larger, very strong third wave to the upside, and we can even go ahead and label this structure. Now normally we would expect to start the larger wave 4 at any point now, but I'm not necessarily convinced that this third wave has stopped just yet. Within this structure I actually see still a couple of highs possible within a pattern that would actually allow still further extensions. I would like to see still at least one before considering a more likely top within this wave 3. And another thing to watch out for is this larger area of support for the wave 4 once the third wave is actually complete, which in this case wouldn't have not been reached just yet because the area starts at the $179 level. So far we have only gotten to the $183 level. Now, I'm not saying it cannot extend to such a proportion to actually get into the area of support and build this larger wave 4, but once again, I actually believe we could still see another high within this wave 3. Similar to across the markets, we are looking for another high within the current patterns. And on some charts it's not the case, but on many of the stocks that we have been covering, this has been the case. And internally in this area, within this 5-wave move to the upside of the wave 3, I am tracking something like a 1, 2, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave to the upside, where I am looking here for a fifth wave of the fifth wave, where even internally we can add a small count in this area, a 1, 2, 3, fourth, and a fifth. And this is what I will be focusing on separately here in the yellow interpretation, which will be tracking a separate extension. In the white scenario, we can still track the larger correction, the larger retracement to be ongoing, but right now I am still open for another high within this yellow interpretation. And in such a scenario, we would have almost gotten to the last level of support, the 50% retracement, before we started this reaction to the upside. Now keep in mind, once again, this is a fifth wave of a fifth wave. It is a fifth wave of a fifth wave of a wave 3, but still a fifth wave of a fifth wave. Sometimes we do miss those. We don't actually get them, and it isn't necessarily the highest probability pattern to work out, especially since within this structure that has formed from the current local low, we don't have a clear 5-wave move to the upside. Within this structure, it could be much easier for us to be tracking something like an A, B, C movement, in which case we should be prepared for further continuation into the larger area of support. Now, if I were to be tracking such a pattern, I would probably do it within a white interpretation for an A, B, C movement, where in the wave B, we probably even completed here an A, B, C structure, in which case I wouldn't need any additional highs to have a top in this area set. Now, in that case, we could also be tracking relevant levels of resistance for such an interpretation, and those would be between the $216.8 all the way up to the $258.8 level. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear, it is not needed for us to create an impulse, to create a 5-wave move to the in an impulse to the upside within this fifth wave. Sure, it would need to be a 5-wave move, but it could be within an ending diagonal. So the fact that we only have an A, B, C structure in this area doesn't prevent it from forming a larger 5-wave move to the upside in this fifth wave in the yellow interpretation. But right now we are still within the resistance area in white, and we don't have a reliable pattern to track a potential trade setup, and in that case we should be also prepared for the idea of continuation in another low in the wave C in the white scenario, where I would be looking for an ideal target at the 100% extension of the wave A, the $153.7 level. And for now, on the smaller time frame, there isn't too much else to be tracked. We could be looking for a potential extension here directly higher, but honestly, it's not a high probability setup in this area because we don't have a 5-wave move from the beginning. We don't have here a 5-wave move to the upside to look for the 3-wave correction. We don't have a potential 1-2 setup that is a high probability. and we could be looking for a very small time frame support area for a potential ABC structure, but it probably is best to not focus on such an area right now and be patient for a more clear structure to play out on this chart. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.